Hello, sunshine. This is Joy coming to you from Michigan in the United States. And I wanted to do a quick little intro video to show you guys my new workspace, well, my revised workspace. This is the gift my husband gave me for Mother's Day. It is an art easel that converts to a table. So this is obviously the art easel format, and I will switch it over to a table and be right back. All right, guys, I am back with you. My table all set up and ready to go. This is a canvas I had done a dip on prior. I've actually already sealed it, but I really don't like it. So I'm gonna do a practice pour on this today. It's gonna be wildly experimental. I will try to list most of my colors in the description box, although I'm sure I will miss some because some of them are combination, but you can see this was painted in July of last year. I called it Water in Motion, and now I'm doing another water themed pour, so maybe it'll work out okay and I can keep the name. Wouldn't that be funny? All right, so I think we're gonna do a swipe. So I'm gonna try to get my colors straight. Some of them I have cups and bottles for, so let me just explain why my colors are so why this is so experimental. I am finishing up using the last of my Deco Art Americana paints that I've had for at least a year, some of them probably 3 years. So some of them are really gloopy. I would not recommend doing this if you have a piece that you're trying to create to sell or to gift. So this is a great way to use up old paints if you're just planning on practicing. So that's my little 2 cents worth. So I think I'm going to start with this color, which must be, I have to match my colors up to my bottles here. So this is Whispering Turquoise. I had a little bit more than would fit. Once I added my pouring medium, it would not fit. This also has silicone in it, hence the S on top of the bottle there. So this is Whispering Turquoise. My pouring medium is different today as well. Instead of Floetrol, I'm using Elmer's Glue All, but at the same percentage that I use the Floetrol. So it's 70% glue, 30% water. I also did something that I know was not the best option. I mixed my paint and then I used it. Or I mixed my glue and then mixed my paint. So just gonna use up the rest of that. It's got a lot of air bubbles. So I definitely do not recommend following my lead today. You can follow the technique style, but I would not mix my glue up and then use it the same day. I just don't think that's gonna work out real well for me. So this next color is a combo color. So I used, this is called Ultra Blue Deep by Deco Art Americana. And then I added the Deco Art Extreme Sheen in Sapphire. So I have this really pretty metallic deep blue. So there's only a little bit left in this cup, and then I'll use from the bottle. And I'm gonna do this the same kind of style I've been sticking to and see how that works out today. It's something that I feel like I'm fairly comfortable with. I don't want to try everything new, you know, new pouring medium, new paints, new recipe, new everything. I don't want to change everything all at once or I won't know what made the difference. So that is the Ultra Blue Deep rather, with the Extreme Sheen. I will say I've used the Extreme Sheen before, and I put silicone in this as well. It does tend to, in my opinion, it dries a little grainy. I don't know. I wasn't thrilled with it, so we'll see how I feel about it on this one. So I've used both of those. So next I actually don't know what I'm gonna use. I have a green that I mixed up, but I'm not so sure about that one, guys. So let's go to this lovely turquoise. This is called Peacock Teal. No silicone in this one, just the paint. And I will say using the Elmer's Glue All at the 70-30 ratio really left me with a very thick paint, almost too thick. So we'll see. It's going to be difficult to spread over my canvas, so I will probably try to have my canvas very well covered. I've talked about in previous videos, don't worry if there's a gap in your paint, it'll fill in, no problem. This is so thick compared to what I've done before that I'm not positive that that's really going to work out. So I'm going to put on some Turqoise Blue by Americana. This one has silicone in it. So I'm trying to do kind of, oh, hold on, goober. Trying to do kind of the same basic thing I did the other day so that I can compare the cells, because I've heard you get different cells with Elmer's Glue All than what you would get with Floetrol. So we'll see if that holds true for me. All right. I have a very pretty Ocean Blue by Americana. And I'm going to keep these in these bottles and reuse them till they're used up, unless I find that they dry really, really poorly. And then I will, or they have too many clumps or something like that. I would prefer to use these as experiments and see what I can come up with. All right, one more color. This is Blue Haven. It's very, very pale blue. I really like this one. And this one, I want to say this is one of the ones that I pulled out of the bottle and I was like, well, it's actually in decent shape. Like, I don't think I have to worry too much about clumping, but all right. And then this one is a brand new bottle of paint. So this one I don't have to worry too much about clumps. I do notice that the metallics seem to mix up a bit clumpier with the glue all than they did with the Floetrol. And that might just be air bubbles or, like I said, I didn't give my glue. I usually try to give it 24 hours to sit. And I did not do that this time because I was just anxious to try this. And I mixed my gold up fairly thick because I don't want to lose my gold. And it will sink. It tends to sink any metallic. So this is a lot of paint on this. This is, by the way, an 8 by 10 inch canvas, just a little guy. They're great for practicing on. I want to say I bought packs of like 5 maybe from a craft store, and they're not, they're not high quality, but I'm not looking for necessarily the highest quality for practicing. You don't have to stress about that. I am trying to get it over this edge because there is quite a bit here that's not covered. Just help that along. And I'm gonna move my paint back. I do have some spots that are not covered, and I'm not sure how much of an issue that will be. So I'm gonna try to be careful about that. I am going to add just a little bit of color. It's really hard when you've got a painting underneath that's similar colors, because how do you know what's showing through? So I'm going to cover this corner with gold. That's a lot of gold for that little corner, but I can always use that to pop back in different places. So like I'll take some right now and put it right there where there was no paint. And we'll take some over here to this corner and just get that good. It is flowing because I had not only painted on this before, but I had sealed it with a varnish. It's sliding over the canvas really easily, but that may create problems with the paint adhering. So I'm not recommending that as your method. I will let you know how this one dries, but like I said, if you're trying something brand new, give it some time. Let it dry, see what you think. So I would never adopt this as my new technique without having given it enough time to really dry up good and know, am I going to have issues from the painting that's underneath. So there we go. I've got all my edges covered. I hope I'm still in frame. Oh, good, I am. Okay. Normally I will do a swipe with a fun, bright, or deep color. Today I'm going with white. This is also a new paint, so I don't have to worry about clumps in this. It is titanium white mixed with Elmer's glue all and silicone and iridescent medium. So it's a little bit of everything. And I'm just going to swipe from the top down this way and see how we go. I really do, oh, this is not coming out of the cup very nicely. That's okay. I really do like having these 8x10s to practice on. They feel less, oh dear me. They feel less risky. Like I feel like I can take more chances with it and not have to worry. So this is my laminate sheet sealed on itself. Made by Scotch, but you can also use a plastic file divider, anything with a little weight. I prefer mine have more weight than the plastic file divider. I felt like I had a hard time controlling a plastic file divider. I have tried that before. And I do think it's a bit easier. Oh dear me, I'm missing all sorts of stuff. For me, I found it's much easier to go in with a smaller one. So if you're just starting swipes, I would recommend starting with a small piece rather than a full, whatever this is, 8x10, 8.5 by 11. You can cut those down. So for the sections that I missed, I'm going to take this little piece. It's got dried paint on the side, that's why I flipped it over. And we're just going to pop it in and re-swipe. Easy peasy. Missed another section, not going to worry. I know I can go back in there, take my little corner. No stress. No need to stress about it. We're just gonna go with the flow. Oh, I just stuck my finger in it. That's okay. Oh, it didn't even leave much of a mark, so I'll just ignore it. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. There we go. So that swipe, I don't know how far I'll take this one. Maybe I'll try some balloon kisses, maybe I won't. I am gonna get that paint off my finger. So that was right there, I stuck my finger in it. All right, let's give this a little heat. And I know this paint has a lot of air bubbles in it, so that will play into this, but you don't want to burn your paint. You want to try to keep your torch up. Don't keep it in any one section for too long. Getting a lot of those tiny baby cells that I've been getting lately. It's another cold day here in Michigan, so that could be part of it. So to let this sit for a minute, I'm not loving it so far. It's kind of bland. The cells are kind of small, but they may expand as we give it time. So you can see they're kind of bigger here, and these down here are starting to expand. So I'm going to give it a little time, and then I will be right back with you guys. All right, friends, I'm back. It's been about 40 minutes or so. The cells I don't think grew a whole lot, and I really don't like the lack of definition. Excuse me. There's just a very turquoise feel, which I love turquoise, but there were so many pretty colors on there, and I feel like they got lost or muddied. I may have to try this experiment again tomorrow when my paints have had a chance to sit rather than having been freshly mixed. I do like this area here with all the lacing, which is interesting because the other artists that I've watched have talked about how much lacing you get with Floetrol, and that Elmer's glue all will give you more cells. And I feel like I really have, there's cells here, but there's lacing here. Very interesting. But I'm going to go ahead and try to do some balloon work and see if that brings the colors up. I'm going to pause this for just a second so that I can get a few photos of this before I do any balloon work. I will be right back with you. All right, back with you to try some balloon work on this. I hope that it brings up the colors because I really do feel like it went really muddy on me. So let's see what we can do. Still very, very turquoise. There's some of that darker blue. And these edges might be, yeah, the edges are getting a little bit dry. So I don't want to try to do too much there. I just feel like my colors are really, really muddied. I'm not loving this one. My gold disappeared, which of course makes me a little bit sad. Such a pretty gold. I hate to see it get lost in all the other colors. So I don't know if this is the new pouring medium or that I didn't let the paint sit. So I think I will try this again tomorrow and let you guys know how that goes. Or maybe my colors didn't have enough contrast. You know, maybe I should throw some yellow or, I don't know. I'm not sure. Purple. I'm almost tempted to reswipe this one, but I'm not going to because it was just practice anyways. Oh, there's my blue. Look at that. Yeah, I wish that would just show up in more places. I'm gonna have that one little splotch of the metallic, really pretty deep blue, and the rest of it's gonna be gone. Yeah, that's... this is just not ballooning like I expected to. It's almost like I did a roll there, but I didn't. I don't know, this one just seems kind of bland to me. You can see there my edge is getting pretty dry. I need to avoid that area. Everything looks turquoise. Everything's coming up turquoise. So I'll just practice my balloon work and see how that develops. You get different effects with different methods and with different pressure, and so I think this is the perfect piece to just practice that. So I think that's what I'll do. I don't expect this to be much of a keeper. It could also be the painting underneath that's interfering. I don't know. Hopefully I can find a place that has some canvases, practice size. There's so many cells there and they're all just a slightly different shade, but it still comes up blah. So I'll practice. See, my rolls, I just take off too much paint. And look how much that's closing back in on itself. That means this is really, parts of this are still too wet. So if you have a canvas like this, take some time to experiment, to see if you can master balloon kisses and balloon rolls. And just enjoy the process. I do like what that did and brought up the silicone, I feel like. I'm gonna go ahead and just turn this, guys, which is gonna put part of it probably out of the frame. Well, here, maybe I can just turn it all the way around. We'll just cover this canvas in kisses and rolls and see what we get. That was a little better. So the rolls give you this lovely, lovely feathery effect. This worked out really well here. So I may just keep trying. And like I said, I don't expect this to get, you know, done and go, oh, this is lovely, I'm going to keep it. But it gives me a chance to practice these techniques and learn about the pressure that I use. And I don't like that. That just took off a bunch of paint, didn't make anything pretty. So there you go. Nothing's ever a tragedy or the end of the world. We just roll with it. See what we can come up with. So there you go, guys. I don't think I'm going to continue any further with this. I'm running out of places to do the balloon work, and it's really just not popping for me. So I will try this same pouring medium tomorrow, the same colors. I may mix up one more or two more, maybe a yellow and a purple, just to see if maybe if we add a little bit of contrast to this, will that make this pop the way I want it to. So let me know what you think in the comments. Should I try some other color, some different technique, a different pouring medium? What do you guys think? This has left me unsatisfied. In fact, I will probably go ahead and scrape this so I can use it as a practice canvas again. It just got too muddy for me. But I will take you guys in for a close-up, give you one last look at some of the prettier feathers that I do. This one still really held up well. I really like that one, but the rest of them, this one's okay. But it was good practice. So thanks so much for watching my video. If you've not subscribed already, I would love it if you'd hit that subscribe button and then the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. If you've already subscribed, thank you guys so much. It means the world to me that you are joining me on this art journey and my art therapy as I process through quarantine. That's how this whole thing started. I wanted to do a painting a day while we are under quarantine, and hopefully I will continue it beyond that. But here is mine for today, and I thank you guys for joining me. Have a great day.